Welcome back to Mass Appeal. It's time for Savings Appeal, and we are sharing an insider list with you. 10 things to know when planning your retirement. And today we're joined by Dylan Bond, the owner of Bond Financial Services, to explain. Dylan, thank you so much for joining us.
Great to be here.
So these 10 pillars of retirement, this comes in a very handy-dandy book that people can get when they have a one-on-one meeting with you.
There's a lot more than 10 things to think about, but really what we're trying to do when we meet with people for the first time is educate them on all the things and all the considerations that they need to understand before they make any decisions. And one of the ways we do that is we've got a book that we put together that really goes over the 10 what I feel are the top 10 most important things to consider while planning your retirement and your retirement income.
So the nice part is everyone watching Mass Appeal today is getting a little sneak peek.
A little sneak peek, yeah.
Now, it all starts back in the older days of finance. There were those 3 pillars of retirement. It was Social Security benefits, it was your actual income, and the third one is...
Well, no, actually, the 3 pillars of retirement historically have been Social Security, corporate pensions, and a high savings rate. Nowadays, with everything going on in the world, what we're finding is obviously Social Security benefits are weakening. They're increasing the ages. By the time you retire, you might have to wait till you're 75 or 80.
I'm not going to live that
Well,
long.
You never know, but you might have to.
Yeah.
Before you can get a benefit. Corporate pensions are falling by the wayside, and savings rates are at historical lows. I mean, the average rate at the bank that I bank at is less than 1% for savings. So putting your money away and living off the interest like our grandparents and their parents did is no longer an option.
So that's why you need to sit down with a financial planner and really investigate, because all the things that you've learned and that have been passed down to you, a lot of them just aren't true anymore.
Yeah, I think what we're starting to see for the first time is the first generation of people that are relying more on 401ks and retirement plans coming into retirement. And the baby boomer generation right now is turning 65 by the tune of about 8,000 to 10,000 a day.
Yeah, there's 76 million baby boomers.
There's 76 million baby boomers out there, and they're all looking for the best way to plan their retirement, not having strong pension plans, if having pension plans at all. And obviously, with Social Security, most people that I meet with, they're not counting on Social Security to be their sole source of income in retirement.
Exactly.
So if you're retiring at 65 years old and you have the potential to retire to spend another 25 to 30 years in retirement, you have to make good decisions with your money that are going to help you keep pace with inflation and make sure that you don't outlive it. And that's ultimately what we're trying to help people accomplish.
And that's a perfect foray into the first tip today, which is life expectancy. Social Security is not enough. And this statistic is amazing. So a couple, and this is, Dylan told me this, I don't know these things. A couple that's 65 has an 85% chance for at least one of them to live to 85.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
20 years of retirement.
It's 20 years. And really, if you're a married couple, both 65, you have a 1 in 3 chance of making 90.
Wow.
So ultimately, living longer changes the game. It's one of the first things we talk about in our seminars that we do on a weekly basis. It's not the same game that our parents and grandparents were involved in. When Social Security was created, the average span that somebody collected Social Security was about 12 to 15 years. Now, if somebody collects it at 62 and lives till 92, they could potentially be drawn off the Social Security system for 30 years.
It's twice as much as
It's
our
a long
forefathers.
time. Yeah, absolutely. So you have to be aware of the fact that the system is strained, and they're going to have to make adjustments to the way they pay out benefits.
And the other thing that's funny about life expectancy is that women are supposed to live 5 to 6 years longer than men, too. And the other funny statistic is that women oftentimes help men live longer. A married person tends to be married for live for about 5 years longer. So any single men
I'd like to see that research.
Yeah, exactly. You got to get married because your wife will help you live longer.
Absolutely.
That's probably true, though. Now, Dylan, let's talk.
Well, they cook better for you.
Yeah, they cook
eat
better
a lot
for
less
you.
ribs.
They tell you to go
right.
to the gym. You know, they help you just be healthier.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Dylan, if people out there, if they want to get some of these 10 tips, they can learn it at your seminar, the 7 fundamental ways to not outlive your money.
Right. I mean, I think the best way to understand what I do and how I do it is to first attend one of my seminars.
Yep.
We hold them all over the area on a weekly basis, and ultimately what we're looking for is to just talk. I talk for about 45 minutes about all the things that I think and how I see the retirement planning picture. And then from there, if I make sense to you At that time, you can elect to come in and talk to me on a one-on-one basis and talk a little bit more in detail about your scenario. But the commitment I make to everybody is when they meet with me, I'll meet with nothing more than a pen, a pad, and a calculator and talk about, just learn about them, get to know them, and see if I can't help them identify some things that they may have overlooked or some things that they did not consider that could ultimately have an impact down the road in retirement.
So if people want to meet up with you, there are a bunch of upcoming dates. Tonight's full, actually. You have a date tonight.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it's full because you're just getting so darn popular.
Yeah, next week too is also full. But then I think the 13th of February, we're going to have one at Leone's in Springfield. Best thing to do is call the office, talk to George. George handles all of the bookings for our seminars, and he'll give open dates, availability, and if one does fill up, we're going to have another one. So we'll just put your name on the list for the next one.
Exactly. Well, Dylan, thank you so much
Thank
for all
you.
the work that you do here. I'm digging these tips because once we get to number 10, I feel like I'll know what I'm doing.
Yeah, and then we'll have to figure out something else to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. So you give Dylan, George, and Bond Financial Services a call to secure your financial future with Bond Financial Services.